Hello, my name is Natascha Bruce, and I am the translator of a novel called Owlish by the Hong Kong writer Dorothy Tse, which looks like this in the UK jacket, its UK jacket, and like this in its original Chinese jacket. It's a novel about a creatively and sexually frustrated literature professor called Professor Q, who lives in the mountainous, formerly colonized metropolis of Nevers, which is a very thinly veiled stand-in, of course, for Hong Kong. And as part of his process of trying to escape from his mundane and frustrating life, the professor has begun a very all-consuming love affair with a life-size ballerina doll called Aliss, who he keeps in an abandoned church. And the excerpt that I thought I would read today is taken from somewhere around the middle of the book, where the love affair is really increasing its grip on Professor Q. And also we start to get the sense that Aliss herself might have a few opinions about what's going on with the professor. The love between Aliss and Professor Q existed outside the bounds of the common world. There was nothing transactional about it. In all that he did for Aliss, Professor Q asked for nothing in return. But you know how it goes. Whether you like it or not, a butterfly flaps its wings and unsettles the cosmos. One ocean wave births another ocean wave. A gust of wind builds inevitably into another gust of wind. Consider the ballerina doll, used to spending her days inside the dark, quiet confines of her music box, which the professor now opened up whenever he pleased, thrusting her into the realm of his wildest fantasies. Think of it from her perspective. Imagine the upheaval. Day after day, Professor Q would press his lips to Alice's earlobes, slide his fingers into her hidden crevices, and crawl like a clumsy reptile over the undulating topography of her body, leaving damp vestiges in his wake. In these moments of high passion, he would think, to hell with the Nevers mountain trails, because this was true adventure. Here he had secret paths, wild abandon, the thrill of the unexpected. Here he was witness to an exciting new landscape Nevers had previously kept hidden from him, and it felt as if he were standing high on a mountain summit. He was afraid, yes, but not daunted. He was exhilarated by his fear, even found himself embracing his terror of death. Ah, Aliss, how he clung to her body, so worked up he didn't even know where to direct his death wish. Aliss considered the professor's messy body an external disruption, but nothing he did with it was anywhere near as unsettling to her innermost being as his daily sessions playing music to her, reciting poetry to her, or sitting with her reading all those novels and philosophical tomes. Professor Q, too, had been undergoing some transformations. Inside the church, his tongue became forked, and he found himself able to say all kinds of new, unexpected words with meanings that glimmered like diamonds, full of endless potential. He began, as though possessed, to refute and expand on great philosophical and academic debates, seeking to express his views on love, time, consciousness, desire, existence, and as yet unnamed new fields of thought. Against the high church walls, his stocky frame appeared as a strapping silhouette. And of course, all this only made him want Aliss more. Aliss, his arousing, uncritical, never doubting audience of one. Never had his mind been so sharp. Never had his opinions been so incisive and thought-provoking. Sometimes he surprised even himself. He intensified his efforts to note down the contents of his impromptu speeches. The themes were still a little unclear, the logic perhaps a little shaky, but eventually those notes would be the basis for an important academic work or maybe a novel. He felt sure of it. This was his ticket to greatness. Inside the church, he also began to write poetry again. After all, talent takes time to mature, and who said it was too late to become a great poet?